Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Lorraine and my channel is Brick Cottage. My channel's primarily about cross stitch and quilting with a little bit of other hobbies and life thrown in. So if you're new, welcome. Thank you for clicking on the video and giving me a try. If you're a returning viewer, especially from last week, if you were watching my epic mic fail and you came back, thank you so much. What's new with you? Today is Monday, December 1st. I've had an okay day. Okay, pretty good. I only worked a half a day today because I worked a half a day on Friday, not realizing it was a paid holiday and I didn't need to work. So I used my afternoon to Steve and I got the Christmas stuff out, and we did some decorating. So that's all done. I'm done pretty much with my shopping. I have to wrap everything yet. And so Christmas is here. It's in full gear. I hope that you had a lovely Thanksgiving. We did. It was just the two of us. And let's just jump into the video. I don't want to make this intro too lengthy. I want to grab your attention and share all the goodies with you. So this episode, I'm going to share with you 2 quilts, some cross stitch whips, a little bit of haul, a new giveaway, and announce the previous giveaway. I'm also going to mention some channels. I did get some viewing done over the long holiday weekend, and just want to acknowledge that the great content that's out there. So let's start with quilts. I have been working on, and I'm behind, on this block of the month I signed up for with Fat Quarter Shop called Make It Merry. But boy, did I get a lot done for the long weekend. So here's what it's going to look like when it's all done. And I think Kelly, I think you asked me the block size, and they are 6.5 inches. So far, everything's been 6.5 inches. So I hope that helps you decide if you are going to do this. This is with Lamb Farm Designs Make It Merry collection. I think I did a total of 8 blocks since we were last together. So so there's 6 of these. These were block 1. Block 2 has 4. 3 has 4. I think I finished these since we last spoke. So 2, 4, 6 of these. 2 of these. And then I also did 2, 4, 6 of these. So I made a lot of progress. My next block is this one here. So I just finished this one. I need to do this one next. So this is I'm on block 7, which is part of month 4. I think it was a 6-month quilt along. So that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. It's month 4, block 7 is what I need to do. So I'm going to have more than enough fabric, because look at how much fabric I have from my blocks thus far after I've made my blocks. And I can't say enough nice things. I love these new Alpha Clip biddies. And then I have just this to open with. This will be so. And I'm just keeping all of this in just a generic 3-ring binder I had, and just printed off the pattern. keeping it in order. It's been very lovely. The other quilt I just pulled out tonight, right before I started filming. This one I want to finish this year. I'm definitely gonna finish that one. And let's talk about something. So my 2026 word is going to be intentions. I have a flyer somewhere I printed off the internet, but of course I won't have it handy. But it talks about, because I have a stack of papers in my office I need to go through and file. But intentions. I want to be intentional with everything in my life, including my hobbies. Sometimes I lose focus on what I really want to accomplish. And that was kind of even decorating tonight. I was feeling, we got all this stuff out of the shed. And I know last year I downsized a lot. And Steve said even this year, he goes, if you're not feeling it, don't do it. And it's like, it's not that I'm not feeling it. I love a well-decorated house with all the lights and the garland, but it's a lot of work to drag it all out. It's a lot of work to store it for the year. It's a lot of work to put it away. We have a really small home, so it can get like a little, like you're feeling closed in by all the stuff by the end of the month. So I did. So we focused on the important things. We have our Advent wreath out. We have our manger that his grandpa built. And we have a small tree. I'm not in love with the tree because it's a little tabletop tree and it cannot hold the ornaments the kids made when they were little kids. So the tree I'm not in love with. It's the same tree we used last year, but it fits perfectly on our TV stand next to our TV, and everything just looks really nice and pretty. And I was really happy when I was all done decorating, looking around at the things that are homemade, like the homemade quilt that's hanging up, the homemade table runner, the Christmas stockings. All of those kinds of things are what's really important to me personally. And so that's going to be my focus, and my this year is intentional. I'm going to try and be intentional with everything I do, from crafting to cleaning to cooking to spending my money. I just want to make sure what I'm doing lines up with my values. So we'll see. It could be just like a squirrel show halfway through the year. Who knows? But speaking of, is this quilt, and I believe this will be my 3rd year working on it, so I want to get it done. It was a free quilt pattern from Fat Quarter Shop called All the Trimmings. And it was a row by row quilt. And I only have one row printed out, the stocking row, because that's what I'm doing. I'm making a stocking quilt. And I'm using Farmhouse Christmas. And this is where I left off last year. Really pretty. So this I'm going to work on. So I'm going to work on these 2 quilts. These are going to be my focus. I'm going to get them done so I can get them quilted. I still have 2 previous winter quilts that still need quilted. That's one of the things I need to do, is I need to look at my schedule and then call the quilt shop and book some time on the long arm. And the little wreath quilt I'll probably do at home on the domestic machine because it's not that big, but these other ones are going to be larger, so I'm going to take those in and do those on the rental. So those are my 2 quilts. Now for the other thing that I worked on since I last saw you was I made some bags for myself. So I'm going to share those with you. I have one more thing. I'm looking around here. This has a previous whip in it. So let me show you the bags I made and what projects are in them. So I thought this was really pretty. This reminds me of my dad because he used to like to deer hunt. I made a really long charm. I'm into making these long, sparkly charms. This is a bag that's a little bit on the smaller side, and I just did a binding on it. And I did line it, but I didn't on any of these 3 I made. I did not worry about enclosing the seams. 1, they're for me. 2, maybe we're getting a little cray-cray about like enclosing these seams, these raw edges at the bottom of a project bag. I'm not sure if I'm sold on that idea. I mean, I love it and all my bags are, but it's just like, just one more step. But anyway, this should be a finish this year. I really enjoyed working on this last year. I love everything about it. The design, the fabric, the floss. It is a Country Cottage Needleworks. Merry Christmas, my dear. I'm stitching this on a fabric flare 14 count. And I'm using the Call for Classic Colored Work colors, which are a little janky. So that worked perfectly into my new bag. The next one, I realize I know like I want to get these whips done, but I think I'm gonna like look through my pattern basket and start at least one new project because I really don't have that many Christmas whips, which I was surprised. So this is a Heart and Hand, Christmas Means More. And this one also came with, I believe it has buttons. Yes, it comes with beads and buttons, and those are in the pattern. Here is the bag that I made. And I put on this vintage pin I picked up at the flea market. And I made another very sparkly, dangly charm with lots of things going on it. This one I quilted the front and the back. And this one's lined with pretty pink snowflake fabric. Look how close I am to being done on this. That'll be great to have that done. And here are my colors. I had lots of colors. Again, 14 count fabric, DMC floss on this one. Got a little pretty charm. Oh, it's got a little heart on it too. A blank project card, because that makes sense, right? So that's all I can say about that one. I want to say this is probably beautiful beige is my guess of the fabric. And I'm not shy about cutting down my fabric because I have full faith and trust. If you did not know, the Fat Quarter Shop has, it's called a cross stitch calculator on their website. And you can put in the count of fabric, like 14 count, 32 count linen, whatever you stitch on. And you tell it how big of a border you want around your project. So usually I say like 2 inches. And then you put in the stitch count. So like this one is, let's see, 59 by 80. So you'd plug those in and the calculator does the math for you and it tells you what to cut your fabric down to. Because I do not like stitching on like these massive pieces. I like cutting them down and having what I need. But to each their own. I'm just letting you know that's out there. I think, yep, it's an add to cart kind of day. I got this at the thrift store. How did you all do on the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales? Today is Cyber Monday. Let me check, is my mic still green? Okay, we still have volume. So I went into it without a plan, thinking, I don't need anything. What possibly could they have on sale that would tempt me enough to pull the trigger? Well, let me tell you, friends, I got some packages coming from Fat Quarter Shop for Black Friday. Well, I think it was for Thursday. And then I think they had something different on sale on Friday. And then today they had something. And so I think I have 3 packages coming. But that's okay because I love it and that's my hobby and that's what I want to do. But I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I do want to get a couple things. And Steve ended up getting a couple things this week too. His stuff already arrived. He got he had this really cool vest that he wore yesterday, and then he's wearing tonight. He's at his gun club doing sporting plays tonight, and we're supposed to have some snow. We had snow flurries twice already this week, and then tomorrow we should get some measurable snow. So he got one of these like fleecy vests. It's sleeveless. It's a vest, and it has a battery pack in it, and it heats up, and so it'll heat his chest, his back, his neck, and his shoulders. And hopefully that'll help keep him warm when he's out, doing his thing. So he got that, and then he got a couple other little electronic things we won't talk about. But so that was nice. So we kind of did our own Christmas shopping for ourselves. And speaking of snow, I got out my snow day stitch. So I've been having this fabric in a Ziploc bag with the pattern for about a year. So yesterday I sat down and made this bag, and this one I quilted a lot denser. Usually I do a 2-inch crosshatch on my bags, and this one I did a 1-inch because I really wanted that really quilty wintry look. And then this is a piece of pre-quilted fabric. And then I used, this is like a vintage pin with some dangles on it that had like some wintry animals. And then I made another snowflake charm with buttons. And this is lined with, well, this isn't, so I sewed this so it has the raw edges. So the back fabric is the white quilted, the front fabric is a white polka dot. But I do have, when I say raw edges, this is what I'm talking about. Typically when I make bags, I enclose all this. But I was like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And this is my winter stitch. And I worked on this weekend. I worked on this yesterday actually, and I'm almost done with one block. Whoops, hold on. I've got a needle and a thread, and there we go. Now this is a big one because I'm going to have a lot on here. So, and this one, Little House Needleworks Log Cabin Christmas. This is chart number 3. And this will have, it'll be a 9x9 pattern, and I'll do 3 stitches between is how I have it mapped out. So I have all the patterns and the, oh, oops, sorry. I have all the patterns, and then I have the floss pack, which is somewhere. The floss might be out in the living room because I was working on this. I believe the floss is out in the living room. I just grabbed the bag to show you. So those are the 3 bags I'm made this weekend. Then for my previous Christmas whips that I need to do something with, this one I'm just not even going to show you because I don't think I'm going to work on it. I'm not in love anymore with it. But it's too far. It's too far in to be a UFO. So it's going to get finished, but I'm just not working on it. Now this one is really close to being done, and well, I don't know about really close. No, it's not really close. I still have the big old barn to do. Now, the barn's my favorite part, so that's why I save it for last. But this is Stitching with the Housewives, month to month, December. I was part of this. This was a club from a couple years ago, I believe. Does it have a date? Well, it doesn't matter. It's available if it's something you're interested in. They do a really nice job with their charts. They are in full color, which I really like a full color chart. And they're big, so they're easy to read. 2022. 2022. So this is about 3 years. And I'm not doing I have all of the charts, but I'm not doing all of them. I've completed November. I know I'm working on April. I want to say, oh, and I completed August. So that's where I'm at. This is in one of my older bags when I used to make vinyl front bags. This is a really pretty bag. This is a pretty bag too with the project that I'm not going to work on. I like that fabric. And then for a previous whip that was a Thanksgiving whip that I did work on since we last got together, and I did rock and roll on it a couple nights. So here's the pattern. And when I last had this, I only had this little bit right here done. So I did all of this, and then I'm coming over to the lady turkey. And you can't see it on camera, but I have some stitches going up for her neck. So this is going to get put away until next year. This is on a piece of fabric flare. I do have a card on it. And the call for DMC, I started it November 9th of 2024. And I barely worked on it last year. And then I did put a couple nights in it this year. Some very pretty fall colors. All DMC. And this is a pretty vinyl bag I made as well. I like this fabric. I wish I had more of this fabric. I think this fabric was from Walmart, like how they do like holiday fabric, like on a little mini bolt, like a yard or so. So I must have made, I think I might have used all this fabric up back then and sold the bags. So I don't have any more of this. So those are my whips. So the Thanksgiving one will get put away. The ones that I showed you, I'm going to continue to work on. I have my Jingle Ball. Speaking of the Jingle Ball, that's this weekend. So I have my, this one is a dot dot goose bag. So pretty. I did finish, and I showed you before, one of my pairs. And my goal was just to do one. So I'm taking that class with Any Bees Folk Art. So I will hope to see you at the Jingle Ball. And then my project to work on during the Jingle Ball, I think I'm going to do Maggie May. Because as I showed you before, I have a lot outlined. So I think this might be a good one because I won't have to count. I can just do a lot of fill-in. The fabric looks very yellow in the light. It's not very, it's more of a neutral oatmeal-y color. So I think I might work on that unless I pull out the other Stacey Nash one that I have a class for Ginger, unless I get her outlined a little bit. And let me show you the fabric I think I'm going to do her on. This has been staring at me all week in my basket. It's Fabric Flare Taupe Dye Effect. In camera, it's showing up taupe, but I feel like in person, it has maybe a little bit of a pink undertone. So I might use that. So I have that kind of set aside for Jingle Ball. Then for my haul, I have a little bit of haul. I have a reading, and let's do the giveaway too. So let me tell you, again, I want to apologize about the whole like mic thing dropping. There was one person who said they were interested in this book, and that person, let me just, I'll put it in when I do the editing. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. It was just one person. So if you commented, it's all yours. And then for a new giveaway, these were two bags that were separately on two previous giveaways that have not been claimed. And it's been well over a month or more. So, and they're Christmas themed. They're just little notions bags. This is so pretty. Fully lined, enclosed seams, no raw edges. And this one's so cute too. Look at the little Santa charm I made. And this one has the little white snowflakes. So these are going to go together to one new home. So if you want to use the word Santa in your comments, in the video, in your comments, if you use the word Santa, you will be entered in a drawing for both of these. And I use the random YouTube comment picker. I don't need to use it for this because there was only one person. So Santa is the magic word. My haul this time is I got this fat quarter bundle, Letters to Cupid. I love pink and red. That is just becoming one of my new favorites. I'm going to put an image of the fat quarter bundle up on the screen so you can see it in its entirety. But I was really drawn to the birds, the cupids, the colors, of course. Yeah, so let me pop that up on the screen so you guys can see it in all its glory. Very pretty. I also picked up this pattern, Bluegrass Sampler. I have this fabric. The pattern was on flash sale. I really like this designer, Melissa Mortensen. She has her own YouTube channel. I think it's called, oh shoot, is it Polka Dots and Polka Dot Chairs? Polka Dot and Chair. Does it say on here? I don't know. I am so sorry. Oh yes, Polka Dot Chair is her YouTube channel. Look her up. She is just a doll. I'm not interested in making this quilt pattern per se as it's laid out, but I would love to just make this ribbon and then maybe sometime in the future, maybe make a barn or a house. So, so it was a great value for me to get this pattern because I really wanted to make one of these, if not more, and then maybe a barn or the house in the future. With that came, I think I spent more than whatever $40, and so this was a free gift that Fat Quarter Shop offered was this book, Strawberry Gardens. Lovely quilt book with several different quilts in it. So that will go on the shelf. And that's another thing like about being intentional. I mean, I know you do too probably. I have all these cross stitch patterns, all these quilt books. I am so blessed. I'm getting such a nice collection of fabric. And I really just want to spend my time focusing on making things. And I have 2025, I really did. I really had a great year enjoying my hobbies. And I just want to continue that in 2026. And so I hope you're along for the ride. I hope you continue to visit with me and cheer me on and inspire me with all your kindness. And speaking of kindness, let me give a couple shout outs to other floss tubers that I watched this week, and then we'll do our Bible verse and we'll wrap it up. So I watched Unfinished Stitches. They had a lot. They have a very nice channel. Of course, Priscilla and Chelsea. I also love Moody Girl Creates. She is not a cross stitcher, she's a quilter, and she's hit and miss. Like for a while there, she was like every single week she had out a little video, and I love that so much. And of course, how life gets in the way. She's kind of been MIA, but she just popped up in my feed. Speaking of MIA, I'm also missing Kelly from the Farmer on Highway J. I haven't seen her in a while. I looked for her because sometimes, like, I'm afraid the algorithm isn't showing people that I want to see if they're a smaller channel, and I do like a lot of the smaller channels as well. But it's been a few months. Of course, I watched Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Even though I'm not a knitter, and I think her video was primarily about her knitting adventures, I just enjoy her content so much. I think she is sweet and genuine and just so kind. And so even though I'm not a knitter, I'll watch all of her videos. And congrats to her on her new house. I'm sure her new workspace is going to be gorgeous. I watched Tiger Lily. I watched Fat Quarter Shop as always. I love me some Kimberly Jolly. In an alternative universe, I would love to be her BFF. And I watched Stacey at Bluebirds and Threads. And she had a big finish. If you haven't seen it on Instagram or her YouTube video, she had a really big finish. It was I believe it was a Teresa Kogut. Really nice pattern she finished. I watched The Contented Needleworker, and I watched Alba Stitcher from Scotland. So that's what I was watching. Then let's do this. Let's do a reading. It is a scripture from Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. As you prepare to work with threads in your hands, take a moment to reflect on the significance of faith. Just as you confidently hold the threads, faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You rely on faith in your stitching that each stitch will contribute to the larger design, even when the individual thread seems small and insignificant. Similarly, faith allows you to trust in God's plan, even when you cannot see the full picture. Isn't that true? Like the thread in your hand, your faith may seem small, but it has the power to create something beautiful. As you stitch, remember that God is the ultimate weaver, working in ways beyond your understanding. Each stitch represents a step of faith, trusting that God is weaving a masterpiece in your life, even when you cannot see the outcome. May this time of stitching be a reminder that faith is not about having all the answers or seeing the entire design at once. It's about trusting God's goodness and faithfulness to complete the work He has begun in you. As you stitch with faith, may you be encouraged to trust in God's plan for your life, knowing that He is creating something beautiful out of threads of your faith. Isn't that nice? I love how this author weaves scripture and needlework together. It's Debbie Danielson, Sunday Stitches, 52 Devotionals for Cross Stitchers. Here's the ISBN if you wanted to get a copy for yourself. I'm not reading ahead. I just read it when I'm with you guys. I like it. So I hope you all have a great rest of the month, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know when I'll be back. So if you would kindly ring that notification bell to be notified of when I upload a new video. If you will also like the video, subscribe to my channel, especially if you made it this far in. You are a true blue friend to hang in there to the bitter end. Please give it a like and a subscribe. Until then, I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.